Nation's Business looks at the deployment of 182 soldiers from the Republic of the Fiji Military Forces to Golan Heights in Syria. Their deployment to the Middle East as United Nations peacekeepers is part of Fiji's commitment to upholding international peace in the Golan Heights, and at the same time answer to the UN's call in bringing about stability to the Middle East region. In recognition for their commitment in heeding the call of duty, a military parade was organized for the 182 men and women who donned the blue beret at Albert Park. In paying tribute to the brave men and women, the President and Commander-in-Chief, His Excellency Ratuipeli Nailatikau, reminded them of their duty in upholding peace and security.
To farewell you as you depart to participate in UNDOF is tangible evidence of that steadfastness and those tireless efforts the government has done and will continue to do its part during the course of your deployment. It is now time for you to do your part. To the families, the country acknowledges your dedication, your support, and your sacrifice. No soldier or sailor can fully reach the top of his or her potential without the blessing and the support of the family. It is heartening for me to see you turn out in great numbers today to farewell our soldiers. This is a reassuring sign of your support. The nation thanks you, and I salute you. Together, we shall move our nation forward, despite the many challenges that we have faced internationally. The last few years have not been easy, nor do we expect the future to be a walk in the park. However, this deployment marks a defining moment in our progress as it indicates the confidence that the international community has in our ability to contribute to the greater effort for a more peaceful and stable world. I leave you with the words of John F. Kennedy, and I quote, "Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and the success of liberty." Unquote. Therefore, with a great sense of pride, I wish you all a successful mission.
From Albert Park, the soldiers marched past government buildings through the city of Suva, where they were farewelled by the Lord Mayor, before heading for Queen Elizabeth Barracks. We spoke to the commander of the Republic of the Fiji Military Forces, Prime Minister Varenga Bainimarama, on his thoughts about the troops leaving for Golan Heights.
I can say that the morale is very high amongst the troops that are departing.
Commodore Bainimarama says the mission to Golan Heights will be more challenging than those other missions which Fiji has been a part of.
Unprecedented attack probably from people who they see as friends on one day and adversaries the next day. But there's nothing new to the Fijian troops.
Fiji will be stationed at the UNDOF buffer zone, which separates Syria and Israel.
No, it's not easy. I've not any other people that are supporting us in every way. I know my husband is standing right there. So my families and on the TV, I know it's not an easy thing, but it takes a lot of sacrifice.
Wonderful, brother.
Fiji's contribution to peacekeeping duties spans 35 years, with the RFMF first participating in World War II and having served in areas such as Lebanon, Sinai, Kosovo, Iraq, East Timor, Bougainville, the Solomon Islands, and Malaya. Nations Business spoke to the platoon commander, Lieutenant Colonel Sitiveni Gilio, to find out how the soldiers have been preparing for the task that is ahead of them.
The men and women that I'm commanding have been well trained, and the Prime Minister and the commander of the RFMF has stated to us in his directive that he wants us to go in as a unit and return as a unit. And as the battalion commander, I will ensure that the men and women I command will come back and meet their families in a more happy atmosphere than the atmosphere that they've gone through in their departure.
He says the battalion will serve in the Golan Heights for a year.
The men and women that have been prepared for deployment have undergone training to prepare them for a deployment of 12 months or maybe slightly more than that if the situation so dictates. And also we've trained them in the various scenarios that they may encounter while serving in the mission. So we've put them through all those training, including the medical team that we are taking with us. They've also been trained in the treatment of the likely injuries or things that they may encounter, even in regards to their own security themselves that they may encounter during the mission.
As part of military tradition, a church service was held at the Tuvasu Hall at the Queen Elizabeth Barracks, Nambua. For first-timer Private Rajatesh Narayan, being chosen to represent the country is a proud moment for the 26-year-old. Lucy Virikiyasawa is a nurse who is part of an 11-member team of health officials consisting of 2 doctors and 9 nurses.
For the people in Fiji, I humbly request for your support and your prayers. Do remember us. We are there in the mission field. It is a volatile area. I humbly ask that you include us in your prayers. Thank you.
The health officers will not only serve the Fijian troops, but the UN troops in the Golan Heights. Many soldiers were selected from the 4 military camps around the country. For Lance Corporal Onisimo Nainduki Drunguta, the mission to Golan Heights is nothing new.
Serial 99, bye-bye. Texas Ranger.
Part of the preparations for Golan Heights involved the final luggage and logistics checks of soldiers at the barracks. This is done to ensure that airline safety procedures are followed.
What we're doing now is checking that no forbidden or things that are not allowed to be taken into the airplane packed. That's why we can see the military police checking all the bags. And after this, we'll prepare the manifest. Manifest for chartered flight, we have 4 copies. One to be given to the pilot of the aeroplane, one to be kept with us, and one to be taken with them, with the draft commanding officer. So this is done to make sure that we comply to the weight that are required.
It's an emotional experience for these brave men and women who will be leaving behind their loved ones as they prepare for the Middle East.
Donaka marutaki. Dari dana viu ke liu ni tin tu bikin dan soja. Dari sanda promultagi vitu kono soja na wono. Na ta kali bra bu urta ta bikimami. Dur katil ta kini bu ke vitu al tuan woni bit. Bikimi tebetal na bingrai. Osum dala kino.
While giving his address to the nation, Prime Minister Commodore Vorenge Bainimarama asked all Fijians to support our men and women who will be representing Fiji in a hostile environment.
This is very important for us, not only to be seen as continuously be seen as a peacekeeper, but also as a part of the big global community. The troops are used to this. All we can do is pray for the safe return of our troops.
Satu wara o meu solena no gumbula no gupunua vera no makumbunda vera no luike mami membaleta na visinga ni mataka.
I would like to thank the government and my boss to choosing me to represent Fiji in Golan Heights.
All I told him that we will always remember him in prayer.
Because we don't know what will happen there. I just wish him a good luck and let him be safe. And we'll ask God if God can protect him.
please be safe and know that we'll always love you and we'll always be here to back you up with anything.
I know the families would want them back as soon as possible, but as we continuously say that we would like to have them back safely and to come back and meet their families, of course.
He says despite international lobbying against Fiji, its relationship with the United Nations remains firm, adding that Fiji will provide an additional 500 soldiers if they are needed. While family and friends gathered to farewell their loved ones at the Nandi International Airport, the emotions on their faces say it all. Despite this, spirits remain high as the 182 brave men and women prepare for the Golan Heights.
Syria, Golan Heights.
Nawaliw. 182 they are living now, and we pray that they will come back together.